Lick
the butt. What the fuck?
What?
It's a yard thing, man. You don't understand. Lick the button.
Hey, I'm pretty sure we're live again. I can't. My own channel, it doesn't give me the option to find them. I'll try it now, but if we're live, yeah, here we go. Hang on. Woo!
We're live.
Did you hit the button or what?
We are live.
What is going on, guys? It's Dealer back again with another RDX podcast. We've got the latest and greatest topics from the perspective of somebody that might like Xbox more than other platforms, and I think that's okay. Hey, we got some introductions. Again, great topics. We've got a phenomenal panel as always, and as always, chat. Let us know your thoughts as we go. Hit the like button, share it out for us. We do appreciate it. Cold Eastwood, how you been?
Good. My name's Cold Eastwood, and I like video games. So,
all right.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
I like
turtles.
I like video games. D-Batch, how you been, buddy?
I'm good, man. I just got a bunch of new fucking tech, so I'm on cloud 9, and consoles are just a month away. I'm just losing my mind, man. I'm good. I'm good.
Ooh. We got some little upset people though. We talking about Demon Souls a little bit. I think that game looks amazing. By the way, we've only said great things about Demon Souls. By the way, for those that are upset that we're talking about Demon Souls, we've actually only praised the game and I'm buying it. So calm the fuck down. About being mad about some shit you didn't hear us talk about, right? And also, hey, Fonzarelli, how you been, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. And, you know, Dee's right. The anticipation is killing me for these new consoles, man. I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Hey, xCloud Tim Dog, how you been, buddy?
Good. Happy to be here at 4K 16 every single second of the time.
Every second? No, if you drop for 3
every
seconds,
second, then I'm a fraud.
If I find you 1800p for 3 seconds, Tim, you're fucking dynamic, you fraud.
Man, you dipped down from 120 to 118.
I can show you I am 4K.
I don't believe you. 6 years ago, you scaled down to 1800p. You're still 1800p. Hey,
I was sick that day.
Zucker, stop lying, you Xbot. Zucker, how you been, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm sitting here at a freaking smooth, crisp filmic 30 frames per second, and I'm feeling good about myself. I love it. You know, just starting to troll. It's jokes, people.
What are you, a PS5?
Oh my god.
I am a pretty big bitch. Not playing.
You know, Sony guys, I really don't blame you for hating us. We really are.
We're just fucking trolling.
Entertaining.
Hey,
Forza Horizon 4 footage on screen, 60 FPS. This is from the One X out today. And I think you might have seen some of this before. So, again, just figured I'd throw it out there. Let me get the topics up. And, of course, guys, thank you again for joining us. 1,000 people in the chat already. Hit that like button. Share it out. We do appreciate it. And here are our opinions out. We are going to be talking about everything top to bottom. Let me give a few shout-outs to some of my Patreon shout-out tier members. We got Slim73. We've got Pink Orcbot. Shout-out to you, especially you. Costanza, we've got Wayne, Scout Trooper 74, KY Bob, Wakanda XNT, Goose 8402, DT Baggins, Straw Hat Khalifa, Bad Boy Live, Assassin Lupa, Foreign Object, Gab Queez Teo, John Blue, Vec Boss, Deviator X, Real Deal Neil, Suicide King, Tasteless Genie, Michael Bowen, Bowen, okay, I got it correctly. Guillermo Cabillo, and then we've got a couple more people here. All Might, shout out to you, buddy. Alfonso Hogan, A Squad, AJ Hutton, Gaz K, Dark CMF, and Nick Bodbonoski. I think I got that right.
Nice. That was good.
Yeah. I think that's Russian or something. I like that. Hey, did you guys see, I want to start out with something light. We'll let more people file in. There's a lot to this, though. The whole Dirt 5 drama out yesterday.
No, didn't see anything.
Okay, you guys didn't see none of that? Well, a lot of people turn this into some drama with IG and stuff. That's not what I wanted to do with the video yesterday, but basically Dirt 5 account retweeted my video, and I didn't have any Dirt 5 footage in there that was any decent quality. I think that was just their way of saying, like, hey, we appreciate the message in this video, I guess. And it was interesting because there were two sides to this Dirt 5 thing. Like, there was one side where Digital Foundry basically praised the game the whole time and said each mode basically sets out to achieve exactly what it does. And this is weeks before the actual release in a preview build on a next-gen console. The developer came out and said, hey, we appreciate this video. We've already improved this build. We've got a better build that's going to be out by launch, and it already improves on multiple different factors. And what was it? The 120 FPS mode dropped 2 frames for a few seconds. There was like a dip down to like 90 for a split second, but it was like obviously some kind of hitch thing that the developer talked about.
When you go through a puddle, which happens on a lot of racing games.
Yeah, but the developer already said they basically improved that. Like that's not like basically a technical thing they improved. And then the native 4K, which I'm surprised because as you guys know, I've been preaching forever. This next gen is going to be like interlacing checkerboarding is going to be more common than ever. I'm surprised they're even doing native 4K. Like if I was them, I would have checkerboarded it and just added even more effects, you know, with all the extra performance they save. But apparently they're going native 4K on this build at 60 FPS, and it basically stays at 4K almost the whole time, according to Digital Foundry. Does drop to 1800p, and I mean, again, they've only improved on this build, but people have somehow spun this into that the console doesn't have performance as promised, and the Dirt developers like, okay, we've made this build much better since then. And then they're also saying that while not comparing it to the PS5 version or even the PC version, while also acting like Dirt 5 is what the Series X is capable of, while ignoring, you know, games like Bugsnax on the PS. Like, by a lot of their own logic, Bugsnax only looks the way it does because PS5 is only capable of making Bugsnax, which is the dumbest logic ever. Dirt 5 looks like fucking Dirt 5. Like, does it not look like the pre-release material and the trailers and the promos? I'm confused.
It does.
You know,
it does. I gotta jump in this real quick because I'm so annoyed by this. First of all, Digital Foundry, when they were highly impressed. Now you're talking about it dropping a few frames when it's, you know, up at 120. We're at 120 frames per second. I don't care if it drops 2 or 3 frames because it's not going to be noticeable, especially with everybody. Because if you got a next gen console, most likely you're going to go out there and get a next gen TV that supports 4K 120 hertz. Now, if you get like a Samsung or a CX OLED or a C9 or whatever, you have FreeSync on there, you have G-Sync on there, variable refresh rates on there. So you're not going to see those drops. It's going to be really smooth for starters. Also, too, I don't understand how these guys are jumping on the 4K mode when it dropped only at the starting grid. Only at the starting grid did it drop to that lower resolution. And that's obviously optimization because the entire race, according to Digital Foundry, everything was in 4K. So that's obviously an optimization issue. And the devs already came out and said that they've already fixed that. So I don't understand what people are complaining about. And then we got 120 hertz mode, of course, the 4K, native 4K 60 hertz mode. And then on top of that, they give us another mode with higher settings, higher shadows, you know, putting the settings to maximum. It's at a dynamic resolution and it's still targeting 60 frames per second. So I think it's a good result. I don't know what people were expecting from Dirt 5 because Dirt 5's never been known for its graphics. And if you look at the previous Dirts, it looks better. And my last point is that this game is also going to be on other platforms. It's going to look the same on PC. It's going to mostly look the same on the PlayStation 5. We don't know if it's going to run the same because the hardware is not the same. You're not going to get a better version of that game on the PlayStation 5. So why are you making fun of it? It's just so
it's
stupid.
True. It's true. But, you know, one thing I do have to say about this game, and I'm just looking at it from, you know, I'm not a big racing fan. But, you know, you've got your top tier racers like Forza Horizon, GT Sport, GT Gran Turismo, you know, and those always, you know, are visual showcases. But this looks like your average racer that you commonly see with other racers, aside from the ones I mentioned. There's nothing that really stands out other than, for me, what stood out in that current build that they were showing was all that screen tearing mess. I'm really susceptible to that apparently because that was just awful to me. I couldn't deal with that. The 120 frames mode though, surprisingly didn't have it. And if I were to buy this game, that's the mode I would play in. You know, it dropped like 2 frames and people are complaining, oh, look at it, it's dropping frames from 120 to like 118. Big deal. But the biggest thing I want to mention here is the fact that when was it ever the graphical showcase? When was it ever the benchmark for graphics? It never was. Dirt was never on that high level. Like, I don't understand why people are using this as the benchmark.
I mean, yes or no, right? People are judging the entire console off of this game because it's like one of the first games we've seen running on the console, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Should we judge the PS5 off of Volcano High?
By their logic, yes. That's what they're doing. And
so
and
how
that's
come
the
we're just
point.
taking? See now people say, well, they also showed other games. Okay, they also are going to show other games running on the series. I just don't understand
that's the biggest issue, though. This is the first game that was actually shown running on the Series X. So I get that people are going to run with this.
But did anybody run around and say that PS5 is weak because Bug Snacks looks like Bug Snacks?
But see,
nobody.
We trolled things like Bug Snacks, but never.
That was because it's Bug Snacks. I got wiener hands,
we weren't
bitch.
trolling. We weren't trolling it in the same vein and saying that this is like the graphical showcase that it should. It should have been one of the graphical powerhouses, and it just wasn't. Like, I don't get what we're doing here. It's a multi-platform game. It's coming to the other console. The other consoles. I just don't understand what we're doing. Like, why are we putting this, like making this the benchmark of, graphics here? And Dirt has never been that.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me at all. And really, it's the developers are all going to make their own types of games. And I mean, you can't first start off talking about how everything's down to the developer, which is true, but then also talk about how that has anything at all to do with the hardware that the game is on something like Series X or PS5. It's 100%, what kind of game are you making? Oh, Dirt? Okay, well, does it look like Dirt? Yeah, it looks like Dirt. Does it look better than Dirt 4? It does look like Dirt 4, actually, and it runs at double the frame rate, and it's got all, who knows what settings compared to PC, because there is no comparison. Also, fuck Xbox, but the PS5 version, we don't know if that runs better or worse, but we're going to assume that this is horrible because it dropped frames for a millisecond, and the developer already confirmed that stuff has already been improved. So, it's kind of odd, right, Zelker?
Yeah, let me jump in this. I find it weird that people are going at the developer, especially in a time where, like, the last few weeks, even Insomniac has talked about getting, like, threats from people, like, about, like, how they developed the Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's like, can everybody just fucking take a step back and realize how difficult it is for these developers to make next-gen games? I understand it's on x86 architecture. I understand that it's a lot easier, but it's still extremely difficult. Like, Ubisoft has, explained this, and they have 13,000 developers, like all over their company, and they've even said, like, yeah, it's we're making it a part of our development cycle because it's important for us to understand the machine as early as possible. EA is not bringing out a Battlefield because they know that it's going to take time to understand the systems. That's what people don't understand. So what Codemasters is doing is actually pretty fucking cool. Like, they're giving both people, PS5, Xbox, PC, whoever, they're giving you guys a game to play, and you guys are going to fucking tear it down because of one specific console that has, like, marketing rights and that they worked with to, like, be like, hey, this is what we're working on. Like, that to me is just like, it's even more indicative of, like, what people actually want, which is they don't know what the fuck they want. They don't know. They're just going to talk shit about a specific console and then talk about the tools that are needed on that console. And like, some people are going out there and, we're friends with these people and we talk to these people, but they're like, oh, see, the hardware doesn't matter or the tools only matter. It's like, no, everything matters. Everything integrated within it, the machine language to everything from the software to any environment you use matters. And it matters of how you build that software and that hardware together over time. So this is one of the first games to come out over that. And as a person that has done software development and still does software development, you guys need to fucking relax and chill and step back and look at the bigger picture of what they're doing to understand these new systems and integrate them together. That's the whole point of this. So yeah, the hardware does matter, and it's going to matter over time even more because they're going to get so efficient with the software that it's going to become to the point where the hardware helps them become even more efficient. So that's the point, people. That's what you're not understanding. So when you're attacking the Xbox, it's like, why? Why are you even the PS5? Why are you attacking it? We never fucking attacked the graphics. We were like, yeah, Miles Morales looks great. It looks fucking awesome. Bug Snacks. Yeah, we made fun of it because it's just a funny looking game.
I mean, we told you that Spider-Man should be able to run on the PS4. We always talked about great it looked.
Yeah, and we said it should be running on the PS4. And do you know how many people fucking ripped our throats out for that? And then when they got announced, it's on PS4, they were like, oh shit, and they didn't know what the fuck to do. So it's like, how about you listen to people that actually talk to industry insiders, talk to people that know this stuff, and actually do the research on the hard part, which is development, hardware, and software, like we do. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, we don't go out here just spilling shit out of our ass. That's it. There you go.
Hey, see, here's another problem though too. Like Romulus, right? You didn't actually watch the video, and here you are in my comment section looking stupid. I only talked about how Spider-Man looked great and that I was impressed that it's using ray tracing in the open world. while talking about the compromises they've had to do so, while also saying that Xbox would have compromises on ray tracing as well. I think it'll be more efficient while ray tracing, though. I think it'll have better ray tracing, meaning they'll take less of a hit while ray tracing. But if you watch the videos, Romulus, maybe you'll understand.
No, he just read your thumbnail and he went over to his group of people and started snickering and.
Well, I'm just glad he can read. That's better than most of us.
You have a fan base right now that has been running with things that got debunked in their face, like we believe in generations, and that was a blatant lie, and they all had to eat that L.
Romulus, stop watching. Stop lying. You did not watch. You wouldn't have said that.
And fuck this. Like, honestly, like, people, like, when we said about, like, the backwards compatibility for Sony or anything like that, we didn't fucking be like, we hope it doesn't happen because we want a W. No, we literally went on Twitter and were like, this is good for gamers, and we were wrong, or some of us were like, oh, like, we'll take an L. Like, whatever. We don't give a shit.
How were they wrong when Sony themselves never put it out there, and they made you feel like it wasn't going to be there at launch? It was a lot of speculation, sure, but nobody was hoping that Sony is going to take a fat L in that regard. And when it comes to all this stuff going on right now, I just have to say that I see a lot of stuff pushed on Twitter about RDX here. And a lot of people seem to put words in our mouths all the time, like saying that 4K 60 was going to be the standard across the board.
Who said
every
that?
game would be 4K 60. A lot of people throw this around.
I remember D saying
RDX
that he thinks 4K 60 could be the standard. I do remember saying that.
But Greenberg said something of the case.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff you guys think you heard from us, or somebody told you that we said. Well, find out for yourself. Come to the source and actually watch the shows. Listen to what we're saying, because a lot of that stuff is nonsense. We don't say half the stuff people put out there sometimes. It's just ridiculous.
Hey, honestly though, shout out to everyone here who is here. 2,500 people watching live already, guys. Hit the like button, show a buddy or two, and tell your grandma about the show. Share it on Reset Era so they can take it down. And of course, shout out to everyone wishing me a happy 90K. I wasn't going to post anything, but Darj Knight, the London Ninja Turtle, decided to do that, and 90,000 subscribers. And should be up to 100K for the end of the year, I would imagine. Got some.
And
really
if you guys
cool...
want to know where he buys his bots, send him a DM.
Wow.
Well, I just wanted to. Can I finish my point, dealer, about the whole dirt fiasco or whatever? I feel like listen, when the video came out, and your video, I think really, if you haven't checked out dealers on this, it explains how some people capture the game at 1080p. When the video came out early, there was already a running narrative that this game looks horrible. This is what the Xbox does. And then Digital Foundry came out, and they basically showed the game at what you should see 4K 60, and they basically praised the game. And so you had a lot of people that were like thirsty for a real bash fest, and Digital Foundry basically just shut them up. The only reason why we're talking about Dirt 5 is simply because it's the first game we can talk about. But to say that this is how you judge a system or its power is beyond silly. It always comes down to the developers and how good they are. And when you want to talk about, power and stuff like that, you don't look at a game like Codemasters and say, wow, they're really pushing the limit. They do what they do. They do a good job. They've done a good job with Dirt 5. But
like it's never been a showcase, right, Tim?
Yeah,
it looks better than Dirt 4. It runs it's got great performance at a great resolution at it looks like pretty good settings. If you look at those reflections and stuff, that creative vision, it's looking good. Shout out to Chris Grimell, by the way, in the chat, who does say all of this stuff. Some of the stuff that was pushed on Cheshire, which is the studio, was unfair.
I want to say something instead of just chewing on my toenails for 5.5 minutes. I just want to double back that the criticism for Codemasters and Dirt 5 wasn't about Xbox. It was what people didn't realize is they were insulting Codemasters Cheshire for their abilities and talents to create a game that runs this fast and plays like this and looks like it does. So saying that it doesn't look next gen, or it looks like trash, it looks like garbage, it doesn't look good. They're talking about making fun of the frame rate or the resolution, like that. All of that was not insulting to Xbox hardware people who developed the Xbox. It wasn't insulting to Xbox fans. It was purely insulting to Codemasters and those people behind that series. And I'm a fan of the series.
Facts.
But one of the other things I wanted to say was that everybody said that it looks like Xbox Series X isn't what they cracked up to be, or it isn't delivering on its promise.
How?
And I have to ask, if you threw an RTX 3090 at Dirt 5, would it look next gen? Like it's the problem with people, and when they say it doesn't look next gen, throwing more hardware at that visual quality and art style that Codemasters honed in, and Dirt 5 is all about feeling like you're on dirt, gravel, and grass, and running through mud. And
developer first, right? Their vision first, right?
Yeah, that's what they do. And I've watched those interviews. They're so proud of the work they've done. That game is running 120 frames on a $300 console,
which is nuts.
Yeah, and if you're out here using that Dirt 5 looks like trash on Xbox, so you can have a W for your favorite console, holy
it's
smokes,
a multiplat.
It is a horrible thing to do to people that make games that we enjoy.
Yeah,
that's the funny thing too. It's a multiplat. Like if it's this on this system, what do you think it's going to be on yours that you pine for? I mean, how stupid can you be? Going after a multiplat with a weaker system. Like, shut up.
I remember now. That whole thing I was bringing up about how we said, or people were saying that every game was going to be 4K 60. We on this show have said things like, because I've seen some people run with, now you guys have to deal with 1440p. And I know for a fact that I know Dealer and I have both said on the show, we will take 1440p on some of these games just to get higher frames.
I have spent multiple videos and time on podcasts talking about interlacing and checkerboarding and non-native 4K resolutions being very extremely common and more common than ever this generation. So anyone running with that shit can fuck off. I heard somebody saying that everyone was saying ray tracing 4K and 60 FPS would be the standard. That dude's dumb as fuck. Yeah. There's a whole line of people that you can spend time addressing, not going to do it because it's not worth the time, and nobody even heard them anyway because they're so fucking stupid. Nobody would listen to them. So that's me moving forward. I'm getting over this shit. Long story short, Dirt 5, if you haven't seen it in person, for one, we've all seen videos on YouTube. I'm sure the game looks phenomenal. I expect the game to look really good, better than the previous Dirts in every way, running great at high resolutions, etc., blah, blah, blah. And I am looking forward to playing the game. Cheshire should be really rewarded for their efforts to get a game to run at that high frame rate, at that kind of fidelity. People can pick apart an Xbox Series S 120 FPS screenshot all they want. At the end of the day, they're setting themselves up for Big L when it looks like that or worse on the PS5, which I wouldn't even have to mention if they weren't dumb enough to do it in the first place. So it's not a big deal. I'm going to move on. The video yesterday was just really to point out that I think some of these bigger companies can do better, represent the product more accurately, and I don't think it's cool to open up a Dirt 5 review talking about, well, there's no Forza this year, so we'll fucking settle for Dirt. I think it's disrespectful to the developers, and, what an attack I said in the video. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. I got some pretty fire tracks on that video. The developer did say Dirt 5 has already been tweaked. There's new builds of it. And, the Dirt account retweeted my video. Shout out to all the fuckboys trying to run the cancel culture trash on a 6-year-old clip. You can fuck off. Also, Fallout 4, 60 FPS back compat on Series S, Colt. What is the deal with this Xbox Wire article?
I'm actually looking into it. This is really cool. What I'm gathering is there's a system level improvement with the Xbox Series X and S that will allow many, I don't know how to say these words yet until I get more confirmation. I'm actually in the middle of the conversation tonight before the show. All right, so we'll find out. But many, if not most, Xbox One games will see a double frame rate. If they're at 30, they could go up to 60. Because of a system level improvement, unless a game is tied frame rate to animation or physics, which happens on some games. I don't know which, and I'm assuming only the back and pat team knows by digging into these games. I don't think this is something we'll be able to see on the competing console. Fallout 4
that's not true.
Is running at 60 FPS on the
That's not true because
X.
Isn't the PS5 also running like Ghost of Tsushima at 60 frames?
I
Because
think
of
This
the
has a
sort of
frame
ice
rate
mode?
cap. It's different.
Yeah,
The
Sucker
developer
Punch
unlocked it,
and
yeah.
Insomniac are unlocking that for back and pat. They're
Well, apparently they're
they're
not.
taking a
They're,
step
they're
forward.
not unlocking it. They're using that new technology, that new method of multiplying frame rates on even games that have capped frame rates. So, meaning that this is a thing we've heard about over and over, where they'll be able, through back compat, select games will be able to have their frame rates doubled. So some at 30 doubled to 60, some at obviously 60 go to 120, and that's actually happening with Fallout 4. Apparently with no input from the developer. So this is the thing, though. They specifically showed off the
awesome.
S version of the next-gen console that runs the S version of the Fallout 4 game we have today. They didn't show the new X version, the Series X version, running the Xbox One X version at 4K at 60, though. And that's what I wanted to know, because they are running two different versions.
Yeah, and that goes against the FUD and the concern trolling about if you get an Xbox Series S, you'll only get the base Xbox One version. Like, that's definitely not true. And I remember I said on the show like a month ago, I said, just wait, just hold on. You don't know the whole story.
Yeah.
Because on this show, Bill Stillwell told us there was way more behind back and pat than just bringing last generation's version up to the hardware where it couldn't really move. But this could be really big if they're doing this on more than a few titles. Now, when the Xbox...
frame rates don't do anything. Frame rates don't do anything.
Now, there's only about 30 or 60 X enhanced games of that boost the resolution and the frame rate. There aren't very many. I just looked at today. I think it was 29 games, and a lot of them were Xbox original. The point I'm trying to make is a game like Assassin's Creed 1 and Fallout 3 saw 16 times anisotropic filtering, and it brought it up to native 4K. Same with Red Dead Redemption. And the game just automatically looks better because of what's going on behind the scenes. Like, the hardware just makes it happen. This sounds like it's more than that, or it's an advanced level of this, and I'm looking into it. But this could be a big deal.
Yeah,
it's
and
cool.
If they can do it with Fallout 4, which obviously is a really
it would do it.
Kind of
Skyrim would run at 4K 60. It runs at dealer remembers the number. I think it runs at 1800p, or it's a dynamic 4K. I don't remember.
4K, I do believe, but I mean, honestly, I don't care with the frames. So if they can double Skyrim's frames,
that's what I'm
that
saying. Like,
anyway.
that's what I was trying to get at. Sorry, if Fallout 4 is boosted up to 60 on the S and X of the new consoles, then Skyrim, which is on the same engine, would get the same treatment. So this is a big deal that kind of went. Quick tweet this morning.
I wanted to just piggyback on that. I don't think that I think they teased it today, but there is definitely a list of games that they're going to give out, and I think that's the reason. That's what Jason Ronald is waiting for when this news comes out. They're going to fully talk about this. But that, to be honest, is a huge, huge deal. And if they can have numerous games at 60 or 120, whether you're talking about like a Sunset Overdrive or whatever the games that are compatible that they can do, that's huge and unbelievable, to be honest.
It really is. Yeah, frame rates.
Yeah, let me go ahead and shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way. A lot of all you guys that show up and support our shows. Support everyone's shows. You know, I see a lot of these guys on a lot of shows, and I just want to say thanks for supporting everything that we do and taking us and hearing us for our word and not some bullshit. Like, you know, again, we just got into talking about. Hit the like button if you haven't. Retweet it. Show a buddy or two. Cultist, did you?
I wanted to say the Sega guys in the chat said that John Linneman said a couple weeks ago that if it was 900p on the Xbox One S, that it'll be 900p on the Series S, and that's
it runs the 1S version on Series S.
Yeah, I mean, that was like that's the logic, and
that's
one of those
for
things,
if it's dynamic, right?
Right. So that's the logic. Like, in this community, like, people have to understand, like, John isn't wrong. He wasn't lying. Like, and that's kind of the way people look at things. John was speaking on pure logic. Like, this is how it works. This is how it's going to work. Probably going to work in the future. He used words like this is likely, or this is what's going to happen. But now we're going to start learning, as of this post from this morning, that maybe it isn't just cut and dry. Maybe there is more to the back and pat team that they've been doing when they stopped working on 360 and legacy titles. Yeah. And yeah, like Tim said, it's a big deal. And if we hear more, Like if it ends up being another 20 games, or if it's just 5, or maybe it's like 2,000 of them, I don't know. And I'm really excited to hear, because we all bought a lot of digital games this current generation.
Let me get a few of these damn super chats real quick. There's a lot of these I need to try to get through. Nano Polymath, shout out to you, brother. Super sticker Jordan in the super chat, he says, "Hey RDX, today's word is FUD, meaning fear, uncertainty, and doubt, usually evoked by men on the internet." Yep, that's true, brother. Thank you so much. Pretty common, and people feed off of this stuff. Entire channels were built on it, sir. Mr. OG White RDX TV, shout out to you, buddy. We got Great 180 says, "Stop trying to explain away and say how good this was. This is home console running at 120." Yeah, I mean we've said that 120 FPS is a big deal, man. I guess this is not updating. This is only showing me. Let me refresh the screen, but I'll skip to a new topic while I refresh and come back. Long story short, look, Bill Stillwell, when we had him on the show, creator of Back Compat, leader of that team, now leads the xCloud team, now into HoloLens stuff, right? I mean, when he was talking about all the stuff coming to Back Compat, he wasn't lying, and that's not including auto HDR on top of the automatic performance. I mean, you really are getting something special here, and we'll have more coverage of that in the future. But at the end of the day, Fallout 4, they just confirmed today they're going to run that at 60, at least on the S version of the next-gen console. I'll need more on the X before I can lock that down to say 100% that the Xbox One X version running on the new X, yes, it is kind of confusing, is actually running at that double frame rate. We'll see. Demon's Souls, by the way. Did you guys look into this at all? And I have a question mark behind this topic for a reason, because I wanted to bring it up. There is a lot of talk right now, and this is from their website. They're saying Demon's Souls is coming to PS4. Are you guys looking at this at all?
Yeah, I did see it pop up.
Really?
I saw it pop up from one of the retailers, and I saw the box art and everything. To be honest, it looks legit, but I don't know. And honest to tell you, with Spider-Man being confirmed for the PlayStation 4 and these other games are now going to be showing on the PlayStation 4, I wouldn't doubt it, because I do think that the PlayStation 5 is going to be constrained this holiday season. I don't think you're going to be able to find it so readily available after the launch, and they need to make that money. And
didn't that trailer say coming to other consoles, etc.? And they said it was a mistake, right?
Then they took it down, right? They didn't say like other consoles, and then people were like, "Oh, fuck Eraser."
And that's what we said. That doesn't mean Xbox. That means it could come to PS4. I mean,
they need to generate the hype for the PlayStation 5, right? So once it comes out, you're gonna, or close to the launch, you're gonna see that it is actually coming to the PlayStation 4, because you got 110 million fucking users over there.
Now, D, let me ask you: is that a bad thing or a good thing that's coming to PS4?
That's a good thing. First of all, how many times have we said on the show? x86, it fucking scales just like a PC. If you got a fucking shitty 1060, you can still play that game. You got a 3080, you can play that game and it'll look better. Like,
hey D, are you sure you didn't see the box art for like the old Demon's Souls on PlayStation?
It's the new one, boy. I mean, and again, there's a reason in chat. Maybe you can help us out too. I mean, this is something.
It's floating out there. You can see it. It's floating.
It's it's in our chat. You should be able to see it.
Yeah, but anybody can make something like that.
But that's a website.
No, it's on a website.
Go to.
No, it's on like a legitimate website.
Yeah, it's from a retailer.
Like pre-order.
But websites can be wrong, because Bluebird's The Medium was being touted as going to Xbox.
Well, that was a listing, though. This looked a lot.
Yeah, I'm not going to jump on it right away. Like, if it is going to PS4, #generations. I don't know what else to say.
But again, I mean, I know you say that to put your knee on a lot of these guys' necks who keep spreading bullshit, but it's a good thing if it goes to PS4. And if you think about it, there's no design-wise restriction behind it that I can see. I mean, it looks like it plays like the original. It looks like the hardware we have today will be able to run that game, not graphically necessarily as well, but in terms of gameplay design, like why wouldn't the original CPU and hard drive be able to keep up with what's happening?
And even if it did go to the PlayStation 4, it still does not take away how amazing it looks on the PS5. And that's what some of these people have to realize. Like, even if it's a cross-gen game, you can have better looking graphics and animations, frame rates, and everything else. It just happened. I just don't understand why some people can't get that through their heads.
Yeah, I mean it's Spider-Man Miles Morales is proof of that. I think it looks great on the PS5. And again, we'd always expected that or said it should be on the PS4. It didn't change our perception of the game. Whereas a lot of people thought it was an exclusive. They're like, wow, this looks amazing. It's next gen. They found out it was cross gen after they attacked us for saying it could be, and then scaled back everything they ever said about the game. So I think it's interesting. You just got to kind of keep the same energy there. I think a game looks great. Demon's Souls, I don't give a fuck if it runs on the 360. The game looks great on PS5. I don't care what it's running on. The game looks amazing on PS5. So I'll be playing Demon's Souls either there or PC, depending on where it does drop. Let us know where you might be playing it.
Yeah. Yeah, Sean, I see you. Demon's Souls won't be 900p. Yeah, we get you. You're stuck on 900p with the Series S. I got you.
Actually, Demon's Souls on the PS4 might fucking be... might be 720p, actually. I mean, that game's 1440p on the PS5. I mean, split that resolution in half, right? I mean, the PS4 ain't even close to the power of the PS5. So, I don't know. If it is on PS4, it might be 720p 30, but at the end of the day, as long as the CPU can handle the task...
No, you just look at Spider-Man. You know it won't be. Look at Spider-Man. It looks great on the PS4, and it looks fantastic on the PS5 as well.
Yeah, and Spider-Man, again, is like, I think on PS4, Miles Morales will probably be around 900p dynamic, like the last one.
Yeah. It will be. Or they'll use some type of checkerboarding. The PlayStation 4, like, come on, man. That console is old in the tooth now, man.
Yeah. So either way, a great-looking
game
game is a great-looking game. I don't care what it's running on at the end of the day. It's all about, your ecosystem, what you prefer to play. And blah, blah, blah.
Others think Demon's Souls looks like garbage. Come on.
Others think you're a fraud.
Yeah, total fraud.
Demon's Souls is coming to Xbox. How's it look?
Oh, my God. Others think you'd be like, this game looks fire. It's on Xbox. Oh, my God. Yeah, so again, we're going to go ahead and move forward topics. So just thought we'd throw that out there. We did see the listing. We got a link for it and all that stuff. One of you guys want to throw it out there, you can. But if it's not coming to PS4, I don't care. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. It's a good thing if it came to PS4, like Miles Morales. Hey, somebody, what is this? Let's go on this Yakuza thing. I thought this was interesting. So, Yakuza Like a Dragon, on the Dragon engine, no less, running on next-gen consoles is, this is interesting. Series S, right? The low-end new Xbox One S next-gen console, 1440p, 30 frames per second, or a blistering 900p 60 FPS. Now, we'll come back to that. Series X, the new high-end Xbox One X of this generation, 1440p 60 FPS, or native 4K 30 FPS. Well, I guess they're not going to checkerboard this game at all. You could double that on both systems. But Colt, what's going on with this 900p 60 FPS? What the fuck's up with this blurry-ass shit?
I don't know. I mean, I guess
can tell you.
This game has problems on PC as well. It's not optimized, and it's a.
You sound like you're hugging a teddy bear right now. Are you sure?
What? What is that?
He's like, I don't know.
No, it's one of those things where Yakuza doesn't look like a blistering, eye-popping game. It's got its own art.
So why
style.
is it running 900p then?
Optimization. It's
actually, if you look it up, like I've played Yakuza games myself, their engine is just not very well optimized. It's not a very good engine.
There are forums and forums of PC gamers complained about performance and quality settings and not getting what they should out of their hardware on that game. Like, look at it. Why is it running this way?
Kirby, who is the developer, says DirectX 11 engine problems. Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, here's what I do know. Is that Gears 5 looks 20 times better, and it's running at like 1080p 120 frames per second on the Series S. So I know they're not like for like, and one's got more open world type elements, etc., blah, 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 but there is no, you got to also factor in the lack of graphics when one title compares to the other. What is the bottleneck? What's happening? It's got to be the engine, because at this rate, it seems like they're getting about half of the performance out of the Series S and X compared to some of the competition out there when it comes to visuals. And, it's just ballpark. I'm not saying it's accurate or 100% accurate. It's just kind of what I'm thinking. Like, it seems like they only got like half or just less than half or just over half of the actual performance out of these systems. Chat, what do you think about that?
I don't know about this Yakuza. I don't know, man. This Yakuza game's been going around a lot, and I don't know, man. I just don't give a shit about I just don't care about the game. And then I see like the performance of it, and I'm like, okay, like it doesn't look that graphically impressive. Like it doesn't look like a game that you're just sitting there going, wow. Like
It's
I just
an old engine.
Like, yeah, I know it's an old engine
It's
or
a
whatever.
Dragon
but
engine, bitch.
I just don't care about the damn. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. It's just. I know it's everywhere. I know it's a new game, and like not new, but like I know it's like a franchise that Xbox didn't have, and now it has it. And I get like there's a market for it, but man, like I don't know, man. If you can't optimize it that well, like I just don't give a shit. Like
I mean, I've seen so many people have sent me like these benchmarks of the Xbox 2080 Ti. Even not, doing 4K.
So is the 2080 Ti weak, or what's going on?
Well, exactly. It's just, I mean, it's just stupidity going around, and I guess we're just here for the here and now of this, but we'll forget about this in 2 weeks.
It wasn't this one of the games that like again IGN put up there saying like this doesn't feel next gen.
It's also not coming to PlayStation for 4 months.
I think the PS5, who knows though? In that time though, they'll probably optimize that version a little bit better. I mean, hopefully they get better performance out of the PS5 version, because this is truly not,
I doubt it.
Not super acceptable in my opinion. Honestly, the fans of Yakuza, you need to tweet at the developer and tell them to get their shit together. Because hire a new technical director. I mean, add another one, tape them together. I don't know, but you need a little bit of help.
Tape them together.
I don't know. When I see that game, I'm with soccer, man. There's nothing that impresses me with that engine. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad looking game. It's not a bad looking game, but it's just nothing that's pushing the envelope where it should be having the performance issues that it is. And
it's highly stylized. Like it looks neat.
I think it's the engine. It's the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's highly stylized. It has a lot of over the top like alpha effects and all kinds of things going on when you do attacks. This one's turn-based, so not a chance that I'm going to get into this one. I'd rather just play Yakuza 0. I hear that one's better, and I haven't played it yet. But like this,
it is. Yeah,
for me, it's on the very low end of my priority list of what I'm playing. So,
well, cool.
But it's one of those things where people were, no, I mean, I can compliment the game and tell you I don't want to play it. That's kind of how it works.
That's hate.
Yeah,
that's hate.
You're a troll.
Hashtag options.
I mean, they were just using this morning as another reason why the Xbox Series X wasn't delivering the next gen feel. And even Ryan McCaffrey was kind of like, I feel like I'm not getting the next gen experience. And I want to say, I like you, Ryan, but I feel like you don't realize you're playing Yakuza.
And tell him to fire it up on his 2080 Ti and tell me how he
won't
feels.
look, or it won't, or a 3090. It's not going to look next generation. It's all down to how developers decide to make a game look. Like The Last of Us Part 1 looks absolutely amazing on 1 teraflop or half a teraflop, whatever it was.
Hey, let me give a shout out here. I got some of the super chats updated here. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Kiss Move, by the way, he says shout out to all the liars that said Dirt 5 averaged 30 to 40 FPS on Series X without actually capturing the gameplay or looking at the FPS themselves. Digital Foundry did a great breakdown of this, showed some pretty high quality footage. Dirt looks great for a Dirt game. It's the best looking Dirt game ever. Also shout out to Dealer for the 90,000, on YouTube and giving props to the Dirt team. That's so epic. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it, brother. Also, we've got one from Sinsuke. I don't know how to pronounce that. Yo, Colt, your videos are just amazing. And Dealer, congrats on the Dirt developers retweeting your stuff. Tim Dog, the retweet secured my 100 follows. So I guess you helped him hit a follower goal, Tim Dog. Shout out again to Nano for the super sticker. Italian Clowns. I was actually in Clowns' show right before this. Clowns says, keep up the awesome work, Dealer. RDX, excellent panel. Thank you so much, sir. Do appreciate it. Your show has gotten a lot better in the last couple of weeks, man. Guys, he says, I canceled my Dirt 5 pre-order for the D-Batch blow-up doll. That's, yeah, all right.
I don't want to hear that, Gaz.
Jordan.
It's weird.
Jordan, how much you want for that?
Jordan in Super Chat says, Among Us looks bad. PC is trash, confirmed. Dark CMS says, at Gaz Sauce. Shout out to you, Dark. And then I'll get another one or two before we move forward. Smooth Vontae, shout out to you, brother. He says, that heatsink in the PS5 looks like a Star Wars ship, LOL, but both consoles will be amazing. Appreciate all. Yes, thank you so much, sir. Yes, they will both be great. I've said it a million times. They're both going to make great-looking games. They're going to be very balanced compared to what we have today. Looking forward to it. But I lost my damn PS5 pre-order. Gabriel, he said he sends a super sticker. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll come
Who
back.
said they lost their pre-order?
I lost my PS5 pre-order. I got a refund.
I was wondering if you meant you. What happened?
Yeah, they emailed me and they said, "Fuck y'all."
The one where you said that it was going to arrive on October 16th.
Yeah, the one was going to arrive.
Yeah,
on October
I canceled
14th.
that one too. I got the same one, and I was like, I feel so good. Then I was like, October 16th, I'm gonna cancel the fuck out of this.
Yeah. Thanks, D-Batch. And also shout out to
wish.com.
Shout out to 3,500 people watching live, guys. If you haven't hit the like button, let's crack 1,000 or so likes for the show. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, retweet. Do appreciate it. We got a lot more topics to come, and that's coming off of Yakuza. I mean, again, chat, let us know why you think Yakuza runs like trash and doesn't look nearly as good as some of the other titles out there. That does include pretty much everything that's been confirmed to be getting patched day one for Xbox Series X, but runs at either double the resolution or twice the frame rate at a high resolution at the same time. Pretty interesting. Microsoft GameStop deal. Zalker, what the fuck is happening here?
You know what? I don't even, like, this is kind of a weird thing, but I think it's for a lot of like the software and cloud-based stuff that Xbox uses.
Explain the situation to the children in the chat. I mean,
this thing is fucking convoluted. Did you read this shit?
No, that's why I'm asking you.
Okay, so basically, Xbox has gone into like a partnership with GameSpot. Yeah,
GameStop.
Stop! Fuck! So yeah, they got in a partnership with GameStop and basically making everything more centric for their business, like within the software as a service. Like, you got to understand that Microsoft's bigger than just Xbox, right? Like, they have a lot of software that's really wanted by a lot of industry people around the world. So GameStop's one of them. And like, their stocks went up, everything went up. It was good for them. And you're probably going to see a lot more people pushing Xbox at GameStops because they're going to get a cut of everybody that joins the ecosystem for a little while. So let's say you go to GameStop and they're like, "You want Game Pass?" And they're like, "No." And then they throw you a card and say, "Buy it, bitch." When you buy that and you go and like do it, there's a registered key within their system, and they'll get a cut of those people.
Ricari, jump in here. What are you doing? Ricari's in the chat. Jump in here, Ricari. Come on, let's get
over here. We saw you picking up apples, bro. You look miserable.
Ricari said,
fucking miserable.
Ricari said, I hope it means that I get more GameStop show hosting work.
And all the deal should mean.
Hey, you can just jump in if you want, brother.
But anyways, like, as you see, like, advertisement where its place is big in stores, especially like, Best Buy or all that. So you're going to see a lot more, or what I would think, you're going to see a lot more Xbox-centric advertisement at those places. They're going to be front and center, Game Pass, xCloud, all that shit's going to be right there.
Instead of them saying, don't buy an Xbox.
Yeah, instead of them saying, don't buy an Xbox, and why would you ever want one? You should just buy this. This thing sounds like a jet engine.
I mean, that was like one buy as fuck at the register,
I know, I'm fucking with you.
Come on, dealer, let us have a little
fun.
Oh, sorry, Dad.
God damn it, dealer.
Dirt 5 looks like trash. So basically, you're basically saying you're going to walk into GameStop, you're going to see more posters, you're going to see more advertising, and they're going to push it a little harder.
Well, they're going to push it because they're going to make money from it. If you leave a GameStop and use one of their purchased Game Pass or one of their purchased Xboxes and you stay on their ecosystem, they get a cut of that from Microsoft.
We should have got Forte in here and asked him what it's like to have a company pay you to sell digital things so your store dies faster.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like this is common practice. Like Best Buy, if you notice, like if you go anywhere, any electronic store, like every month it changes because the company paid them to, make something front and center.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here, put this in the front so people see it first. People are very simplistic that way. Like, that's all.
Yeah.
It's like you put it front and center, and that's what they're going to do.
What if this is a takeover?
Tim, is Microsoft going to become GameStop now?
Tim's take on this.
Yeah, Tim, hurry up.
No, I have to say you're correct that we have. I actually were on a podcast with Gaming Forte, who works with GameStop, and yeah, where you put your stuff in the show. If you notice when you go into GameStop, it's Nintendo. They pay for that floor space, so that they, when you first come into a store, they do actually pay for the spot to have your system, advertised. For me, it's a smart venture. You don't have Microsoft stores anymore, so you have a little bit of a connection here.
Microstop
And Microstop, yeah. So this is a good thing. As you remember, in 2013, when DRM was raging, you could go to pretty much any GameStop and you would pretty much have somebody talking bad about Xbox. They weren't a fan of it, so they kind of switched the flip here, and now they kind of join forces. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see a digital trade-in program or something, a way to add to your power up score or your account, and they could do a lot of stuff if they can elaborate on this deal if they really want
and
to.
the other thing is that I remember when Xbox was shutting down their stores, a lot of their stores. I think there's only like 2 now, right? Like 2 Microsoft stores.
I think it's 3.
Yeah, okay, so 2 or 3, whatever. And when they shut them down, I remember like again, another narrative was the fear mongering that Xbox or Microsoft's trying to get rid of brick and mortar, stores, and they're all digital. They don't care about any of that. And then it's now they have this massive partnership with GameStop. It's like every single narrative that I feel like that was like brought up the last 2 or 3 years has just been fucking smacked in people's faces. And it's just like, you're an idiot.
They do a backflip into a new narrative. That's the problem, right? So
they're like, oh, smack, backflip right into this one. Agile fuckers.
Now, because of this, partnership, people are telling me, now you can buy that warranty from GameStop.
But it won't be long for you walk into GameStop, look to your left, and there's milk and eggs in a little refrigerator.
And you can play games on it.
Yeah,
on that refrigerator.
Is there going to be a little stand I can put my hot dog on?
You got to take a screw out.
Well,
oh yeah, fuck! I forgot about that.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking? Hot dog, Salker, get your okay.
You're on video, you fuck.
I know.
You're sitting there like, what does he mean?
What does he mean? Let me go ahead and grab a few more of these real quick. But yeah, I mean the GameStop thing, pretty interesting. It's kind of a big scope on what they're doing here, and I think you're just gonna see Xbox pushed a little more in the long run. Basically, Andrew Collins, by the way, in the super chat says, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Put my 2013 Xbox One through the ringer. Can't wait to drop it into the Series X. Yes, that'd be cool. Immortal Jedi, become a channel member. Shout out to you. Also, Cherry in the super chat. Random. Any idea when they'll have the next gen update for Cyberpunk? I'm just hoping Cyberpunk fucking makes it. No, there is no
update. Is 2021. There's no release date yet of that. And also, as far as 60 frames goes, unless the game was coded unlocked frames, you're not going to get that at launch.
Which they did do with Witcher 3. They have a performance mode in the 1X. There will be a 1X version of Cyberpunk at launch. It's mandated. So hopefully the 1X version has a performance mode that the Series X will then run at a locked 60 FPS. Hopefully, Tony Stark RDX says cancel my. What do you say? Cancel my. Confirmed day one PS5 for the iPhone 12 mini and Apple Watch. You walking around with Apple Watches on and shit?
Wait. How do you know which iPhone to get? Isn't it confusing?
There's more
like
than
one.
No, Tony Stark's one of the ones that can read, though, so he has no problem deciphering which Apple Watch he wants to wear. He also says
little
he won't miss anything on the PS5 since basically all games come to... Yeah, they do run on the PS4, which, hey, they make the money on the software, not the hardware. Corey... He says, I'm almost certain the Dragon engine isn't utilizing SMT on the new consoles, meaning multi-threading, 8 threads, so 8 cores. So, could be, man. I do not know. I am not a developer. So, again, GameStop deal, interesting. Xbox storage upgrade. Jason Ronald did confirm, by the way, that these little SSD cards. Because I saw a clip of a journalist who was holding this SSD card, which has this, obviously this M.2 inside of it that was just being used on the Series X, and he held it, and he's like, well, that's toasty, and he dropped it, right? It surprised him, and that's what everyone turned into. Journalist got burnt, which was bullshit and all this stuff, and he even said it himself. This is getting ridiculous. Well, Jason Ronald said that more companies are actually going to be making these external SSD expansion cards than just Seagate, which is amazing because that means that the one thing we didn't like about Series X, which was the proprietary storage, which now we understand why it's that way, it will have competition in that market. So you'll not just be limited by Microsoft or Seagate, rather, on their pricing. Some other companies like Western Digital can come in and make their own drives and drive those prices down, hopefully. So if you guys are wondering if it's only Seagate with these 1 terabyte expansions, for one, we need them bigger than that in the long run. They will come that size. But it will not just be Seagate releasing those. So
that's good to know.
Yeah, that's good to know. Competition's always good, right?
Yeah. How much is the Seagate again in the States?
$220, which is a little pricey.
Okay. So I was looking into this a little bit with the PlayStation 5. So it looks like we have a few candidates of what will go into that system now that we've seen the fucking slot and whatnot. And they're not cheaper than the price of the Xbox Series X's. So those people that are making fun of the price on the Xbox Series X's SSD, the external one, you're going to be paying a little bit more for the PlayStation 5 because of the speeds of it. Over time, of course, it's going to come down, but this technology, it's not going to be cheap for either console.
Do people? Did nobody realize that? Like, I mean, do you understand? Like, that's why the PS5 has 800 and whatever 25, gigs of storage. That's expensive. It's one of the most expensive things in the goddamn console.
Yeah.
Like, does anybody get that?
I took some heat for saying that the SSD that qualifies on the PS5 is $10 more than the Xbox card. And they're like, "What is 2 times faster?" I'm like, "Yeah, but that's the minimum spec SSD that you can probably get at launch. Like it's as expensive, and it is double the speed. But I don't know if you're going to get all of that speed that is in that SSD. So I don't know. We don't know yet. But it's not going to be cheaper. I don't. D, when's it going to be cheaper than the Xbox? I don't know.
He's trying to tell you.
It'll be cheaper. It'll be cheaper next year. Next year, the prices will drop, and in the year after that, prices will drop. I think it's good that Xbox is going to have some competition on their end, so that'll lower the price there. And I think some of these companies might design one that's more for the PlayStation 5. So I think the cost in maybe a year will come down on these things. But everyone's making this big deal out of the speed of the SSD inside the PlayStation 5, and it's fast, and I've seen the demonstration, like when you get killed and you come back to life, it's pretty fast, it's good, but in all honesty, you're looking at maybe like a 2-3 second advantage over the Xbox Series X. So let's not go crazy on it. Yes, it's a good fast SSD, but it's nowhere near blowing out the competition. It's going to be like 3 seconds faster.
Here's what Kirby said, and this is a big focus for Xbox. I've heard Jason and them talking about this. One of the big reasons it's in that enclosure is to not only simplify the installation and all that stuff, but also it's part of how it's built is to help it sustain performance, right? Like my $300 Western Digital, or no, not Western Digital, the 970 Pro, and I got a 970 Evo in my PC. I got both of those. And one of the advantages of the Pro is it does have longer sustained performance, but even that drive, $300, right, is going to drop performance the longer I'm transferring a file, right? Or the longer I'm doing something that demands a lot of bandwidth, the performance will drop, meaning it'll go from transferring X amount of data here. As it goes, it'll drop and drop, like your internet speed on a download, right? We've all seen it happen. Kirby is saying that one of the advantages of the Series X's implementation is the fact that it can apparently sustain those speeds constantly, which is actually where the heat in that SSD comes from. So, I mean, I don't know the difference between the two, but I mean, I have heard that from more than one developer, and I think that Microsoft have actually talked about it a little bit as well for a particular reason. So, I don't know the difference there. It'll be interesting to see what that means in the long term, though. Let me... Yeah, they have confirmed more than one company will be making these expansion drives. Great. Competition's great. PS5.
I really like the fact that those are plug and play, by the way. Just like, you plug it in and that's it. It's really nice.
I like that.
That's the whole point of a fucking console, right?
Yep.
It's supposed to be easily accessible and done, and you don't got to worry about shit.
Zucker, stop
I
here.
like it.
I'm not hating, man. I just,
Young Money Goku says, "Who cares what console you buy? Unite." I agree, but tell people they can't get both.
I literally banned 27 people because of this topic on Twitter, like the day it came out, because I said that it's a pain point as a person that does UX design. It is. Hate to break it to you. And other people that are professional UX designers have messaged me and said, yes, that is a massive pain point. It's not easier than the competition, and a lot of people don't buy consoles to fucking mess around with it. They don't want to what they call tinker, and that's what you have to do with this. So,
well, I like how
about Sony.
I like how some of the people that were making fun of changing batteries on a controller are the same people that now are like, yeah, all you gotta do is take a screwdriver, put it on the table, open it up, it's easy, But they're the same people that are making fun of batteries on a controller. So that's just a little perspective.
I mean, it is 2020 though, Tim. I don't know. batteries, bro.
You think people would stop being stupid?
I love the listen.
Look, I get it. Third-party
I'd rather have
options and all that.
batteries.
You can get rid of the batteries if you want by buying a third-party option that replaces them. That's what I've done. But holy fuck, batteries.
Those batteries suck. Those
I'm a
third-party
fan of
options
batteries.
suck.
I don't want to go into that discussion again. We've already done that shit.
This is the part that grinds my gears, though. It's like they complain about all these things, but I think personally, everybody should just be happy the next fucking gen is here. Honestly,
Yeah.
But if you're gonna
too much to ask.
Fuck you, D-Man.
but if you're gonna concentrate on things that are wrong, what about the PlayStation 5 not being able to use a PlayStation 4 controller? What about that? What about the sheer
D, why you gotta hate?
size of the PlayStation 5? The PlayStation 5 is massive.
D, stop talking
I
shit.
could give a damn about all that stuff, man. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're getting a controller with the PS5. Who cares if it's going to be bigger than your cabinet? It doesn't matter.
Boz is going to play
one
a...
of the
on the floor.
One of the central themes is Xbox has been much more transparent than Sony. I mean, you can't even find a PS5 in the wild right now, and I believe like Digital Foundry.
Where can I get
other,
I need a... There's an Xbox in the wild. I can find one of them. Shit.
No,
I mean, I really don't care about the size of it because, I mean, I've got 2 subwoofers that are the size of washing machines in my living room. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Fonz, I know you're going to play a quick game of Demon's Souls. You're going
to
to unplug that shit from the wall, put it in a pillowcase, put it in your bed and cuddle with it all night long. It's going to keep
just like
it
I'm
warm.
going to have a mini fridge on the side of my TV so I can put the Series X in it so it don't overheat.
Exactly.
You know?
Just don't touch
Right.
it, though. It'll melt you. Hey, Corey in the Super Chat says, I'm almost certain. Okay, hang on a second. I already fucking read that. Spartan Ghost in the Super Chat says, xCloud now runs off of an actual fridge.
Yes.
Did you see? Is that true?
Yes, it's true.
What kind of
it was
fridge?
a Samsung fridge, I believe.
God
Yeah, I
damn
did
you,
see that.
Samsung.
Yeah.
Clapper Dan says, did you guys hear that the Series X SSD is possibly slotted? Wait, possibly slotted compared to the PS5's sold. Okay. Yeah, spelling, Dan. Sorry, Dan did not.
What the
I mean,
hell
I
is going on?
quadruple checked it because usually I'm the one that's like, trying to figure out like what's going on. Like Dan did not spell this shit correctly, and I don't know exactly what you're trying to say. He said, "Did you guys hear the Series X, the X, and the S SSD is possibly slotted compared to the PS5's soldiered SSD?"
Soldered.
Oh my god. Okay, so
They're saying you can take it out on the Xbox, where you can take
you
it
talking
out
about the
internally,
internal?
I guess. Yeah, I think so. Where it's on PlayStation, it is soldered. I believe, to the
I don't
board.
give a shit. I'm not opening up the Xbox anyway, so.
That is an issue for repairs, though. If you're PlayStation,
I'm not repairing that shit. Microsoft, all right. Hey, professional ARC, whatever, DRAM and those NVMe drives are in. Hang on. God damn it, this thing just moved. Those NVMe drives are in oversupply. Basically, prices may stay or slightly increase in 2021. Could be. And then we've got the boy sets fire. He says, anyone going to talk about the fact that PS5 dev kits have locked frequencies? Yeah, that's I think because they need to be locked, right? That's why they actually run so loud, because they've got the fans so damn high on them. We've heard multiple developers talk about that. So they basically lock those frequencies so developers can figure out where they want to place the frequencies and figure out what works for them, from my understanding. But the retail units do not, so it's kind of interesting. Sycamore in the Super Chat says, what do you guys think about the Alana Pierce video? It made me cringe. What Alana Pierce video?
What
was
video?
that?
I don't know.
Which one was that?
Shout out to Alana Pierce. She's been on the show.
Maybe he's talking about the video where the Series X crashed a resume game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is that what he's talking about? I mean, hey, it's a month before launch on software that they've already said isn't final. It's in preview program. I mean, how many more disclaimers do people need? I don't know what she said about it. I didn't see it. But when people bring up product crashing before launch, especially on software that isn't complete, on an OS is not complete or
she
finished.
didn't really go into detail and talk negatively on it or anything. She just basically said, "Oh, it crashed." Oh, yeah, I haven't seen.
I mean, if we were talking about stuff that crashed before launch, I mean, we would still be focusing on the PS4 at E3 before it came out, when Assassin's Creed Black Flag crashed live in front of millions of people on stage during its premiere. No one talked about that shit because I don't expect the final product to do that. So what is the point of talking about it.
I mean, games crash sometimes, and
Yeah.
it
Well, what
happens.
happened? What happened is she was doing a quick resume and she went into a game that I believe needed an update. So what happened is it took the update and then kicked her to the screen.
Well, that happens now.
Yeah, I know. While it was basically gathering the info, she tried to go to a different system function and it didn't go. So.
Does it happen now? I don't think it does.
Sometimes,
because when I quick resume games, it'll ask me if I want to update or not.
No, it'll knock you out.
It happens if you go in, like if I launch Fallout 4 and it starts to go to the screen and then it goes black and then it goes back to dash. I'm like, what the crap? It won't even launch. And then like 20 seconds later, it goes, this game needs an update.
Hey, shout out to
when
Tyler
I was playing
Dunbar
Ghost of Tsushima. That's what it did. When I would play Ghost, it would keep asking me to update, and I would just keep saying no every time I got back into the game. And it never crashed. It never went to the home screen. It just let me play.
I mean, again, this is an unfinished product where they literally tell you this is going to happen probably. And also in the preview program, support for people to know that they're removing games in real time. Like often they are taking games out and putting games in that pool of games that are playable. They say all of them pretty much should be playable by launch. But right now there's like 1,000 or so. And they're taking games like Hellblade out and in. When they find an issue that's reported, they'll take it out. And that game will no longer work, so it would crash when you try to quick resume, stuff like that. So I get that. I've seen videos and stuff on that stuff. Tyler Dunbar, by the way, $15 super chat. Didn't have much to say there. Appreciate it, buddy. Again, we're going to go and move forward in topics. PS5 back compat. I was under the impression they only have 100 or so games at launch. They apparently have more than that. We're still not sure if all of them are playable, but it seems like far more than 100 or so. Said it on Twitter. I'll take the L on that. That's great. I want to be able to play all of my games at launch. And yeah, I think it's a great thing. Sony, while not very clear, even to this day, I was just talking to Clowns on his show about this, their language is still weird about this. Do you guys notice any weird language when it comes to this? And
yeah,
Tim, what's up with this? I mean, we're glad that the games are there.
First of all, there's no L to be taken. I told Colt.
If I said 100 or so, there is, right? So
well, listen, no, because the reason why you were under that impression was their lead engineer.
That's all they told us, pretty much.
Said that basically you're going to get 100 playable with the most played games. Now, if you were getting thousands of games in at launch at that time, you say you get all your games. You don't say you're going to get 100 or you mention anything about playtime. So you could throw all that out the window. This is Sony not being forefront. Then they had a PS blog that was 3 days later that said it, and then it talked about again as we add to it. So nothing was ever set in stone. You could not go to a Sony fan before this, and they could not. Legitimately, there were articles a week before this saying 100 games because it was open for interpretation, and that's on Sony. They're telling you what they're doing and with their product with BC, and they have been absolutely. They didn't. It took an interview in Famitsu or whatever, that outlet, to learn about PS1, 2, and 3 not being covered. They basically never acknowledged that. They've been very, very quiet on the subject. They've been sly about it. And then they just say, oh, well, everything's available, but your game, and then they put some caveats in there. Your games might be experienced, might not run at certain times, and certain things, might not work. Listen, that's just to me, they just threw it out there and they'll say, hey, you guys play test it. We'll play testing as much as we can. It is a shit show compared to what Xbox is pushing out, but it is good that you're getting your games, I guess, at that time. But their messaging on this has been absolutely horrific. Yeah. So no L's here.
That's exactly
I don't care. Like the L isn't it's a letter. I don't give a fuck. We've always admitted when we're wrong about certain shit, but
it is about those messaging, because with any company, if you don't put the narrative out there, someone will come along and create that narrative for you. And that's exactly what was going on, because nothing was being said, and everything that was being said was very cryptic from them.
And that's what happened with our cross-gen
as
support
consumers,
too.
That's not what you should be. That's not what you should be doing for the consumer out there. You should not be putting out just this mixed messaging stuff, or putting out nothing at all when it comes to certain things, and you just get people out there speculating, and that's a problem.
Well,
and
why would they say anything Why would they say anything when fake insiders are just basically saying, "Oh, it's gonna be PS1, PS2, PS3"?
You know, 13 key flops and all that stuff. Yeah,
I think they do see that, and I think they're like, "Fuck it, we don't have to say anything. They're just gonna build positive feedback for us anyways." And that's what I think they're doing. No, I literally think that's what they're doing, bro.
I think the thing is,
or they just don't give a fuck. I just don't think they care.
I think part of it is honestly, I think that they're just, you know, like just waiting it out and seeing what the competition's doing, what they're saying, and then getting feedback from that. You know, they got bad feedback about the cross-gen titles with Xbox, so they said, hey, let's just stay quiet on this as long as possible, because we don't want bad, you know, feedback for us. And that's what they did.
Well, Colt has nothing to say on this, so I guess I'll throw it to anyone else. Colt has nothing to say on anything anymore, guys listening, so I guess we'll just put his picture on the screen and he don't have to show up.
You never asked me to talk.
I didn't ask anybody.
You know what's worse shit? Every time a guest comes in, I'm on the floor and Mr. No Talk is at the top. I
know, right? We did change his name to Zolt Eastwood.
Look, when I hit 100,000 subs, I don't need to talk to you guys.
Yeah!
I can't wait to do that, so I don't have to talk to you bastards.
Holy shit,
Except for Deep Bash, of course.
I'm just going to go to Taco Bell right now. I'll go.
Soccer, you'll be there in 5 seconds, so
just pick him up a medium drink. He needs that code.
I like turtles. Hey,
no,
Colt,
actually, I don't really have anything else.
Do you have anything to say to the 3,500 people watching, and that they should give a like and show a buddy?
Yeah, you guys should help us with get it. We're at over 1,000 likes, so just keep it going all the way to 1,000 too.
We don't disable likes either.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Speak for yourself, like Soccer. I'm turning them off right now.
There's no L's to be taken. It's just ridiculous.
Who cares? I mean, again, if you're wrong about some shit, you know, no problem admitting it. So.
Well, I mean, I guess everybody was wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire industry and all the media were like,
that's fine. It's up to them to admit it or not. I don't.
Well, when you think about it, Sony was wrong too. They said like a couple hundred, and then they're like, "JK, bitch." Like you gotta think about it, right? Like they're like,
fine. They had wording that they would have at least 100 games ready for launch on back of Pat, and then they didn't say anything for like 3 months, so it's fine.
Yep.
And I spoke up that I mean, you guys helped teach me this. They were playing to their strengths. Their strength wasn't back and Pat. Their strength was 8 or 9 launch games on the PS5 in the first couple months. So they're not worried about back and Pat, and Xbox had to speak up about back and Pat because they had to move Halo Infinite. So there's your L.
There's the real L. Yeah, Halo.
Okay. Well, Halo.
Oh, I mean, somebody asked Dealer today on Twitter. I said, "Hey, do you think 343 is taking this extra time to improve the graphics on Halo Infinite?"
It's like, what do you think they're gonna do? What the fuck? I mean, they better. I need some textures in my damn game.
No, they took 6 extra months to put roller skates on everybody. I mean,
they're going straight over to fucking id Software and be like, help.
Look, there are screenshots of Halo Infinite that look like they're straight out of Roblox right now. Right? So I definitely need some damn ray tracing. I need some lighting. I need some textures on Craig's forehead. And
hang on, you know what's funny about that? Remember those screenshots that came out like a week or two before Gears 5 that looked like they were Roblox? Like Kate was standing with Dell in the red sand. She's like, me. Like they put out 4 screenshots that looked absolutely dorky, and I'm like, maybe Xbox just doesn't know how to take good screenshots.
Maybe the camera's broken.
We call Colt out, and now he won't shut up. All right, moving on.
Zoltron.
Voltron and a hot dog stand.
Voltron. Shout out to HK Gaming, Blue the Cyborg, and of course
Zackiest,
Zolt Eastwood. Let me go ahead and.
I hate everybody in here right now.
You really should. You should hate yourself. Let's go ahead and skip forward here to a few of these super chats. In the meantime, we've got Tyler Dunbar. He puts another one. He says, not much to say, just like supporting the show. Thank you so much, sir. Toddy, he says, decided against putting the massive PS5 in my cabinet as I have a ceiling fan Xbox Series. Okay, you guys are fucking savage. Eli says, off topic, but Xbox should release a translucent game. Like the old Xbox original systems where you can see through them and stuff. They'd be badass. But yeah, he thinks you should see a box, translucent game box.
Speaking of the size of the PS5, for all you cat owners out there, just attach some shag carpeting to the side of the panels and just let your cat use it as a scratching post as well.
Assassin Lupus says, Fawn, shut the fuck up.
All you cool cats and kittens.
Assassin Lupus says, Sony have always Yeah, they have, haven't they? They've always shouted more about everything that they actually think is amazing or better than the competition, basically from the rooftops. And the silence is very telling about certain things. Yeah, I usually, historically, that's what they do.
Marketing 101.
And Assassin Lupus says 90 to 100K coming soon. Thank you so much. Yes, getting there. And then I'll polymath with another one. Microphone, super sticker. Dark CMF says here's a couple of W's that need to be handed out. Lethal Papa and RDX, good show as always, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, Lethal Papa, the moderator with the boss mod of the show. Obi-Wan, another moderator. Woomy's in the chat. Solomon's a mod. Daddy, we got to change the name, brother. Daddy 91801. He says Xbox as usual. One of my regularly scheduled online programs is as informative and as entertaining. Thank you so much, sir. And then Dark CMF once more. Got one more of that. Dark CMF again with regards to Halo and all of the watching over. Oh, that just moved. Not a launch title. Yeah, it was only a launch title once in 2021. So they did push that back, man. And people say it as an L, but we say it's a W because we want quality first. We've been asking for that for years. Cherry, the battery buyers, AA Duracell rechargeable batteries. 4 batteries in charger port cost around $13. Mine will get 20 hours per charge. Yes, that's it's not bad, man. And then one more, Aerodemus dealer. You heard the rumor that the reason ray tracing is not on any of the Series X games is because of the DX12, basically Game Core for some of the developers. Yeah, I have heard that. Game Core is like version 0.01 right now, and that could be the reason why you're getting ray tracing in games like Devil May Cry on the Xbox after the PS4 version. So hopefully they get that shit together. I mean, they should have had that stuff in order.
Did anybody see Dealer just crash into a post at the beginning of the race?
I do it multiple times. I
can give you, I mean, I think Linneman talked about this today, and I've heard this talking to certain people that were always telling me that the Xbox was more powerful to shut up when I used to ask him every day. Just because we couldn't believe it was 12 teraflops or whatever, or RDNA. But anyway, the rumor is, or the thought, the logic is that they're behind in their SDK, and one of the reasons why they're behind is because they waited for the full functionality or the full suite of features that RDNA 2 gives out, which is as we went through that mesh shaders, VRS, machine learning, so on, and that their drivers aren't ready, and they are in the process of being ready. They probably are going to come in a little hot, but that is the rumor, and it could be true.
You got to give props to PlayStation for having that ready for whatever API they're using. You know, they do have multiple games of ray tracing in it right now, so. I mean, again.
Well, I'm just saying this is a rumor. I'm not saying this is facts or anything.
I mean, I don't think it's a rumor. After who I was told by, I think it's absolutely Game Core is not quite ready, and I think
Well, but then again, you have Ubisoft saying that Watch Dogs 3 is going to have ray tracing day one. So
maybe maybe here in the next. When's Watch Dogs come out?
October 25th or 6th or 7th or something.
So maybe Game Core is getting to that point, and maybe Devil May Cry said, "Fuck y'all, I don't know what's going on." So maybe they're using a different version. Maybe they're getting. I mean, fuck, Crysis right now remastered. As weird as that game kind of turned out, has ray tracing, not even using any concept of actual traditional ray tracing that we've ever really known it. And they found a way to do that without any kind of RT hardware or tensor bullshit at all. Like, it's insanely demanding, but they found a way. So you never know. Ubisoft might have gone around the limitation of whatever. Could
it be for Halo, the slip space engine?
Could be that Craig has no textures on his head. So yeah, PS5 to have 99% backwards compatibility when it comes out, which is great. What's this deal with Albert Pinello went ham here recently, right?
Oh shit. Yeah.
Pinello on Twitter. That. He said Pinello is a former Microsoft guy, by the way. And he now works somewhere else. But he said that usually, because he was seeing a lot of the people try to say that for some reason, I guess, if Microsoft built a PS5, it'd be $700, right? Which makes no sense. But he said usually when something is smaller, quieter, and more powerful, that's actually, in terms of that's actually called better engineered. D-Bash, did you see? This is pretty savage. Just one I want to talk about. I figure we get a few laughs out of this. D-Bash is gone. Nope.
Yeah, I know. No, it was. Yeah, it was pretty savage, and he's right. Just like people making fun of it last week that the console was blowing out hot air. Yeah, it's because it's fucking engineered that way to blow out the fucking hot air. It is pretty compact.
Don't it suck in hot air? Ain't that how it's supposed to work?
It is quite an engineering feat because when you see the teardown of it, it is compact and yet it's well cooled. Everything fits into place well. I think it is an engineering feat. I think that's where Sony failed because if you look at their console, yes, their console does appear to be running cool, and it does also sound like it's quiet, but look at the sheer fucking size of it because they just couldn't figure out how to get the size down. And if you think it doesn't matter to Sony, it does, because Sony traditionally makes, compact devices, especially with the consoles minus the PlayStation 3. So yeah, engineering-wise, I would say the Xbox Series X is definitely ahead. It's more powerful. It's a lot smaller. And yeah, it's an engineering feat. It was
if you're selling 100 million consoles and you have 20 to 30% more materials in plastic and aluminum and all of that other stuff in there, like that adds up over time. That kicks into the minute amount of profit margin they make on those if they make anything, or how much they're losing on them. And we are getting hints. Jeff Grubbs just tweeted out during the show that I think he's assuming that the PS5 is going to run quite a bit hotter than the Xbox Series X. So it's pretty amazing that it looks like the Xbox Series X is crammed into a box. They smashed everything in together and they don't leave any room in there, and people are circling red points of interest where they don't think it's going to be able to breathe. These guys don't understand thermodynamics at all. They don't understand how you remove heat. You don't move it through. And I don't think they're going to take an L on that one for spreading FUD that these things are overheating. I don't think the PS5 is going to overheat. It's just might just run hotter.
Well, he's actually going to test it
as well.
He's going to, I guess, he's going to test it. It looks like because
Jeff's already put a thermometer on the Xbox One X is running like 44, 46 degrees Celsius and another 10 degrees Celsius for the PS4 Pro. So I'm assuming he's got an idea what he thinks is going to happen, but I mean, who cares? Like, is that going to be on your checklist of things you won for the console war? I don't know.
If that's accurate, I think I saw a report somewhere from some of the guys that actually have the PlayStation 5 that it's clocking at like 65 C. Maybe someone wants to fact check that.
63 for the Pro, and Xbox is 54.5.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, can we just say, like, can we not talk about like what heat or whatever Xbox is, because we have nothing to compare it to anyone else? Because Sony hasn't put out their shit to anyone.
Like I said with that whole thing, this goes back to Xbox has been pretty much killing it. Then they had the Bethesda deal. These guys are just desperate to just latch on anything, and that's a part of what you had to with Dirt. They're getting nothing. Sony is saying nothing. They'll put up a video in Japanese that nobody understands. That's American because you have to use a translator.
Understood dealer's video.
Yes, but they're being very quiet. They don't want to. So they're starved for information. So all they do is they look at my page, Aaron's page's dealer's page, Colts, and they try to get us in a gotcha moment and say all this stuff. Meanwhile, there's legitimate questions that they should be asking Sony. They've been lied to. They ate the L. Guys, all took the L there. So I mean, it's just they're frustrated, and we're pretty much loving it, and it's just kind of sad that they're going to the lengths. And I don't put any. The next thing will be tomorrow. Will be something else. So
all I know is that, like, as an engineering feat, like what he said is the Xbox Series X is better engineered. Like everything is. It just seems like everything is easier on there. Storage expansion's easier on it. It's going to be expensive no matter what console you're on. Like, didn't Sony point out like you could vacuum the dust out through these holes or some shit? Like, everything about it just...
What are you pouring dust into your PS5, Soccer?
Like, that's what it said.
You need to dust your house, bitch.
What the fuck? I was like, what the hell is going on?
Where did they say that, Doctor? Was it in the teardown?
They pointed out like the two little holes and like you could just vacuum the dust out. They said that, and I was like, what? Like
But I've
everything
always
about
done
it.
that
they
with
had
my
footage of the
consoles. I
vacuum
vacuum
sucking
my-
up cockroaches.
Yeah.
Listen, as
God.
like what I'm gonna say, what I'm gonna say is, I as Xbox, Aaron Greenberg talked about like how he tweeted this saying, hey, shout out to Jason Ronald for helping develop or engineer something
Mhm.
that makes it easier for the customer, which is us, the gamers. And that's true. As an engineer, your job isn't just to make the shit work. Your job is to make it, to innovate it and make it better for the end user, which is the consumer buying the product, not for you.
You're not wrong.
And for me, everything that I've seen Sony do was just easier for the engineer. Like from the stand, from everything to like that, to like opening it up, having to do this. It's like that's just weird.
Yeah. All jokes aside,
I just got the best
you're
DM
100%
ever.
right.
Oh my god! So a guy
okay,
messaged
hold
me.
on.
He's like, I read part of it. Something about Colt's reply to me, right? And I looked, and the guy's like, "Man, RDX is awesome. I love watching it every week, right? Like the 3,400 people here watching now, right? Shout out to all you guys. Well, apparently he's one of them. And he messaged me, and he's like, "Man, what's up with Colt's reply?" And I looked, and it had a picture of Colt's face, and it said, "Shut the fuck up."
What?
It was a sock account of you telling this guy to shut the fuck up, and he thought it was you.
Oh, that's funny.
No, man, I was dying because I can only
Probably not.
imagine like just Darth Colt just telling everyone to shut the fuck up one day. He gets fed up with all this stuff.
Jekyll and Hyde. Cole.
Oh, my
yeah.
God.
One thing I was going to say, though, you're 100% right, Zucker, when it comes to the average consumer out there. We can joke about how, oh, my God, you got to take a screw out or whatever to do something. But it's in actuality, for some people out there, they're more inclined to, say, buy something that you just plug in rather than you have to take things apart and put something in. It's just,
Who cares? Like, there's some people that have if they have a problem with installing an SSD in anything, a computer, a PS5, or an Xbox, that's not for me to tell them that they shouldn't want to tinker. I don't give a fuck what they do. So
Yeah, and it doesn't change things. But I was on a podcast last week that said he works in a tech shop, and he said I am expecting to get a bunch of people bringing in their PS5s. Like, can you do this for me? I'm like, really? Like, I mean, you have to be careful not to snap that thing in half. With
because
the little
there's
SSDs,
some
like,
people who say, "Hey, can you find the SSD, buy it, and install it?"
It's worth
if I send you a
$30.
PS5?
Yeah, it's worth $30 to have somebody take care of it for me, and I know it's done right, and I can just go.
There
home
are
and play
people
my
out
game.
there like that. You're right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
There's
People don't understand.
What people don't understand, the majority of people are like that.
Yeah,
Like a lot of people don't like fucking opening their computer. Like
But
they don't.
also,
Like as an engineer, that's the number one thing I get is like if something's wrong hardware wise and it's like messed up, like I could tell them, yeah, you can just buy this new hard
dude.
drive, and they're just
also-
like,
I'll admit, man, back in the day when I was gaming on PC, when I first added a RAM stick to my PC, I was scared. I was like,
my
okay,
God.
I didn't know what I was doing, and I was afraid, that I was going to ruin something. And once I did it, I was like, really?
With
That's
your little
it?
baby hands, it probably fit in there
No,
real
it's just
good.
it's just that way when you're not technically inclined, when you don't mess with things like that. As the average consumer out there will be that guy or that girl. Just buying something to plug in is a much easier and better option for them.
But also,
I'll let them worry
overwhelming
about it.
majority-
Hey, Randall's here. Randall Thor. How you doing, buddy? Dreadpool's here.
Yeah,
We got
I'm
a
gonna
lot of
bring
people in the
up
chat.
Rand.
Krisky Bombs
Ash
in
and
the
Luke
chat.
is here.
Ash and Luke is here. Colt
Rand-
Thor's here.
Rand explained that the overwhelming majority of people probably won't even expand their storage on either console. Like,
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
just how it is. The nature of 80 million PS4 owners probably aren't going to, or PS5 owners probably aren't going to need to expand their storage. They don't buy enough games. They're not that hardcore. I mean, that's what the hardcore is, a small minority. So yeah, it is kind of like pointless to gripe. But it does speak to the audience that we're talking to. Like, we're the hardcore. Our audience is the hardcore. We care about this stuff. We want to expand our storage. We want to load our console with games,
But it's
we're
not
allowed
for
to
us
be-
to tell them they shouldn't want to tinker. So if they don't mind the
no,
PS5
we're not telling
solution,
anybody
then-
that they shouldn't want to tinker, and that's not what
Exactly.
we're telling
You're
them.
saying no one wants to
was-
tinker. What are you talking about, boy?
for the consumer.
People that want to tinker can tinker. There's different avenues of where you want to tinker.
So why are you telling them they don't want to tinker for, boy? Huh?
I didn't tell them they don't want to tinker, boy.
Rand-
You did say
Zucker's
that.
point was that Xbox put this thing together that was more.
I like tinkering. Y'all could fuck off. Hey, RDX
dealer.
Devin, by the way, in the Super
PC
Chat.
Gamer confirmed dealer.
I
Gaming.
did. You're a PC Gamer here. RDX Devin says,
So personal.
I missed your Super Chat, buddy. You're right. He says, you did this at the beginning. So I brought up brought up Spawncast. I don't know what that is. Is that I don't know.
Spawnwave show?
Spawnwave.
Oh, does he have a podcast?
Yeah.
Spawncast, that you said PS5 may not be full RDNA 2, and Pony started dissing you, and no one, not even MVG. Who's MVG?
I don't know.
Defended you? I mean, for one, Sony haven't confirmed all the RDNA 2 features, so technically right now it is not full RDNA 2. But, I mean, the most important part of RDNA 2 is there, which is the IPC performance. That's what I expect to hear from the experts, quote unquote, anyway. So until BRS and all these other things are fully confirmed by Sony directly, then we can assume right now.
Sounds like somebody. Those are the same guys that said that. No way. The PlayStation will not be underpowered.
Yeah. Every other podcast, especially outside this community, we have no clue.
One wave. Yeah, I remember that. That was pushed around a lot. That,
I don't know what they said.
They acted like they.
Tim, you don't gotta go get that DEFCON 5 right now.
I remember.
All right. Well, I don't give a shit what they said. They're,
well, if they're gonna diss you, at least have your.
I don't.
Be correct.
I think he's talking about the chat for one. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
there. And either way, even if it wasn't, I don't give a fuck because we were right. So I don't really care.
We were a month away from the consoles being launched. Well, the PlayStation 5, like literally.
Yeah, Devin, you don't got to necessarily super chat that kind of stuff. It's, I mean, I don't give a fuck about any of that drama shit. He does also say the Spawnwave video on the Series X today, it might be upgradable. No, it's not. I don't know why anybody would make a video about that. Sparty says, hi, Rand. Don the ship says, my inner Arthur Morgan. What you talking about, boy? Who put this fish hook in my mouth?
I'm about to die from a sneeze.
Fucker!
Stupid ass story, dude.
Oh my god. RDNA 3 confirmed.
Trash. Moving on.
Who put this shark hook in our mouths?
Who took my guns, my fucking horse? Stupid fuck.
All right, that horse was savage, man. I died more because of that horse stealing all my damn guns.
So did I. The good old Driscolls are hanging out on the top, and my horse took my guns.
The horse is working for the Driscolls, goddammit.
He is. He's a fucking double agent, that piece of shit.
Yeah.
This is like fan fiction going on right now.
Which one of y'all kicked me?
He's in the camp blaming everything on his horse.
I swear, he's fucking betraying
me. The
horse
horse took the camp funds. It wasn't me.
Horse is over there with his hoof in the box.
Oh my god.
Stealing the money.
Yeah.
Look at my hooves.
Hey, oh my god. Okay, I gotta regather composure.
Did we have topics tonight?
Hey, Tail Zushi, by the way, he says, sub chat, sub RDX crew. Hope all is well. Enjoy this last month before new tech, and I'll catch your podcast on my overnight. Thank you. Malaka, he says. Malaka! Hey, Valhalla's going to look at me. By the way, people are talking about Dirt 5, right, on the Series X, etc., even though we don't really know how it's going to look on anything else. Valhalla's the thing that people should be looking at. Like, this game really better deliver because it's going to be one of the first games. It's going to be the first game to really show the capability of a box like this on a big, beautiful open world Assassin's Creed game, right? Like, I'm not going to the next gen counting on Yakuza or a Dirt game, two things that have never been touted as visual showcases, as an example of something to show my friends. I'm going to show them Valhalla running at 60 FPS. I'm excited for that.
That'll be a good one. Me too. Very excited, man. I can't wait to see. Finally, I've been talking to you for a while about that. Remember playing Odyssey and always asking you, do you think the Series X is going to be able to push a game like this at 60 frames? That's what I want. And apparently they can. So can't wait.
Greenberg.
I have a... Huh? I was going to say I have a topic that's not on there, but I was going to bring it up.
Let me get Stylar 19 says Greenberg said recently all back compact games will run according to Series X hardware. Is that optimized to or unoptimized? I mean, no game is truly optimized unless basically what he's saying is back compat will use the performances there. Right, at least in what they're assuming is the compatibility mode, which really doesn't have the architectural improvements of RDNA 2 over GCN, right? So you basically get like what a GCN 12 teraflop chip would be without the dramatic benefits to performance of RDNA 2. That's what he means. Whereas optimized Series X is like a next gen patch game. It's completely different though.
Yeah, basically on PS5 and Xbox Series X, like every back compat game is at least guaranteed to stabilize the frame rate that it was made for when that game came out. That's the best way to explain it. But what we're also seeing for the Series X is every single back-compat game is getting 16 times texture filtering, which makes those ground textures and rocks and things look a lot sharper, and they don't use as much blurring, and so that looks nice. Then you get auto HDR. It's just like what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. Like, what does that mean for doubling frame rates on select titles?
Monkey Punch, how dare you call me a fraud? Which one of y'all punched this monkey?
Auto HDR for me is kind of weird because it's not true HDR, and I just don't know how well that's going to be implemented. I can't wait to see it, but at the end of the day, it's not real HDR.
It's better, apparently.
Yeah, what they do is they analyze like real HDR footage, and they use the machine learning, and basically it gives you that HDR on the games that don't have it. So
is it sort of like the fake HDR you can get through your some of the televisions out there that will?
No, it's not like
it's not that bad.
No, it's not. Well, apparently it analyzes games that have real HDR, and then it applies it to what it should be. So let's see how it looks.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
I've heard some of the people that have the preview boxes said there was a game or two that looked better without the auto HDR on. So, but it sounds like most of the games look better. So,
that's the thing. I'm sure there's going to be
those damn people with them preview boxes.
Yeah.
If you have a great TV anyway, like those games will look amazing without auto HDR.
Renico, by the way, says, "Hey, Malaka's for us Greeks." Zalker, is that true?
Yep, it is. Keep it up, guys. You rock, and of course, your name is Nick. Nico.
Sorry,
I mean, buddy.
You want to know Zalker's real name?
Fellow Greek, my friend. How you doing?
Yeah, Zalker's Greek. He's got grapevines around his head right now.
I do. And a toga. Remember.
Yep. Let me go ahead and let's move on to the next topic. Goddamn! If you're still listening, hit the like button and share it on Twitter. Show a buddy or two. We do appreciate it. And of course, be sure and clip your favorite parts. Take them out of context. Xbox going big with new studios, apparently, according to Tom Warren. He is hinting at on a new podcast that there's another big acquisition. We've been talking about Xbox's acquisitions for quite a while, and that they do have more coming. Tim Dog, what do you think old Tom Warren got this shark hook in his mouth for? Tim Dog. God damn it.
I'll jump in. Tim Dog, since you are having eating your toenails. Apparently
what were you saying? My mic?
No, Tim, you lost your opportunity. It's my turn to shine.
All right. We'll let Zalker shine before we smash him with a flash water.
I'll go after you.
No, go ahead. It was about the new studio hint by Tom Warren and stuff.
New acquisition.
The big one.
He's hitting on the podcast.
And I see a lot of people. Malik wants us to talk about this. Listen, my take from what I've seen or heard is they are full-fledged on getting the Bethesda deal cleared, getting the Bethesda people assimilated to Microsoft, a meeting with them. You have to realize they took 2,300 people on as developers. So with those 2,300 people, they have to, when anybody comes to a new company, they have to learn about the company. You have to learn about, what they're obviously, they want to talk to these people, meet up with these people. To say that there's other deals out there, I'm sure that there possibly could, but from my gathering is and people probably will get, they won't be happy with my answer, but my answer is that nothing is going to happen until the Bethesda deal is closed in February.
I agree, because I do think that, because he said that, there was two people, Tom Warren and someone else, some other guy, Sharik Ed or something, like, who's an insider. Yeah, so they said that it's supposedly like a save the best for last kind of thing. Like, they even said that it's like bigger.
That's actually been debunked. Like, those words were never used. So yeah, we looked into this today.
So they
Zalker's pushing fake news.
Hell yeah. No, but this whole thing is
Fake
I don't know,
news.
man. Like, I think they are looking at stuff, because we know the rumor of them looking at WB Games and all that. For them to look at that, and ZeniMax was like getting done around that time. So for them to be like, yeah, we're about to drop $7.5 billion. Might as well go look at this $4 billion thing over here too. It's like I don't think that anything's off the table with Xbox. And do I think it's going to be as big as Bethesda? Fuck no. I think that's like game changing. It changes the landscape of all gaming kind of move, and it really does. People like that's just what it is.
But
We're
those
not
are
going to
all
get anything like that.
Zocker's for monopolies.
What the fuck?
All right.
Oh my god, that narrative! I hate everything.
Yeah.
Well, I watched that. Shout out to Rand. He had a video he put out today about this situation.
Spam
He
Al
played a
4
clip.
back again with another video.
Yeah, he put out the clip, showing
Call
Tom
Al
Warren
4.
talk about it, and the some of the other hosts of the show talking about it, and nobody really had anything definitive or even close to anything that sounds like they're gonna acquire some big
And save the
studio
best
right
for
now.
last was never actually said on that
Yes,
show. And
there was nothing said that was of really any value in that regard. It sounds like fake news to me. It's like
wrong.
they're just assuming that they're going to acquire somebody, another big studio soon. And like we could all sit here and assume that, but at the end of the day, there is no real
The only evidence that they have,
there's no real breadcrumbs to follow here.
well, the
There's just
breadcrumbs
none.
that you follow is what Satya and
I mean,
Philip said.
Bugsnax, not breadcrumbs.
Where they say that Satya said
Those are
like we're
strawberries.
gonna keep investing in new studios. Like he straight up said.
Yeah.
So that's a
They're
breadcrumb
going
of
to
like
invest, but
it's gonna
I
come
believe
more.
what Tim said. February. Yeah, that's the earliest you'll hear anything.
Well, no, I think it'll be. If anything, I think we'll hear anything next summer. I don't know if anything will happen during the launch. I think the next big event next summer, where they'll have Bethesda simulated, they'll have everything done, they'll have all the other first-party studios going on all cylinders, while Bethesda still, is coming into the Microsoft world and the game and under that umbrella. But I think around next summer is where you might actually hear something about another studio, maybe multiple studios. Maybe that's the
That
big
sounds
thing
good,
where they get more than one studio. They won't get a big publisher. I mean, who fucking knows? But they won't get a big publisher like they just did. But maybe they'll get a couple like multiple studios, and we'll, this is all fucking guesswork, people. They like another 2018, like where they just drop the studio after a studio after a studio. But you never know.
All I know right now is first party games on Xbox are $59.99.
Right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot
Right
of
now.
articles written about last week's show. We had Greenberg on for
Thanks for Fonz for setting the price of next gen, by the way, on Xbox.
single-handedly.
Single-handedly.
No, Greenberg though. I mean, that show's got almost 100,000 listeners on last week's podcast, and I mean, it was a fun show, man. Greenberg is.
It was.
I talked to Greenberg several times, and he's a lighthearted dude that he's just doing the best he can with Sea of Thieves and shit like that up to this point. And now he's got a lot more to work with. And
Shut the fuck up about
Man,
it.
he had to sashay around those questions, though. He was dancing a lot.
yeah, because he was being a little
he
bitch.
was tap dancing.
No. I understand his position, as the head marketing guy. He can't say too much. He can overstep. That's why he had his buddy there. Rubes was there. So,
Shout
it
out
was
to
a good
Rubes.
time, though.
Jeff's awesome. Aaron's awesome. For those guys to come on, they didn't have to do that. You don't see that a lot from gaming executives at all, and you can't take that away from them. And
No.
again, they said they listened to the show, that we're very critical, and that they try to live up to those demands. And again, you guys in the chat were there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching that show. Thanks for watching this show. 3,500 people tonight.
Oh,
Hit the
boy.
like button if you haven't. Share it out. We do appreciate it. Subscribe. All that good stuff. Thanks to everyone wishing a happy 90K. And that was the last topic of the show. Check out the links down below. I'm still waiting for Sean LeBrie to wrap up on these new shirts and stuff, and I'll start pushing that kind of stuff. A lot of you guys have been sending me questions about that. Links down below for some of the stuff that's in the store now, because that will not be there for a whole lot longer. We got some cool stuff in there, just some random stuff and a few cool designs in there. Also, channel members, shout out to all you guys with the colored names and the cool badges next to your name. And, of course, the patrons. Guys, thank you so much for what you do. We're going to do some outros, and again, just thanks for rocking out with us for 3 years plus now. We've been doing the show, and you've taken us from
That's crazy.
taking us from, I think we started out around 500 people live on the first show because, again, I took the time to build a platform. We've been through a lot of people to figure out the chemistry of the panel, nail that down, and
We're still working on Zocker, but
yeah, Zocker still
he is
sucks. We're still working on him.
No, we love Zocker. We joke behind the scenes that sometimes people will say, "You ever heard of Zocker 87? You guys should have him on the show." It's like
some guy
been
did
here,
message
like,
me and
over a
say,
year.
"Hey, you should really have Zocker on the. He'd probably be pretty good on your show." And I'm like, I replied and said, "He has been on my show for a year."
2 years.
Thanks for watching a year ago, though.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we'll clear up like
I've literally had that. Have you ever heard of Colt Eastwood? You should really check out his stuff. Maybe collaborate. I'm like, we did. We got 2,000 views.
and people sometimes ask like why we don't have Rand on. Is there like a problem? And like
why would there be a problem? I love Rand. We tease it. It's just like the show. Like we do this in parties.
Think people expect.
I mean, let's be real.
Rand
is a fucking problem. He is.
Rand jumps in.
Spam's really getting bad.
Rand always jumps in all the time. Like you know, when he wants to, he does.
Honestly, no one in here really likes Rand. Like he's just a fucking tomato, and that's all. Yeah, but no one likes him.
I like Rand.
Tomato.
Basically, Rand's one of the boys, and it's like we're just like when we're in a party, we give each other shit. We make fun of Colt because he's got a blue and red faced bitch and stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and move forward.
Just a permanent guest.
Zach's just a permanent guest. Colt, tell the people where they can find you, buddy, and what have you been playing.
You can find me at Colt Eastwood on Twitter and YouTube, and I've been playing the Mafia series. So yeah, I gave up on Mafia 3 when the 1X came out. Like it wasn't really working for me, and now it's like one of my favorite games of the year.
It's awesome.
Yeah, shut your fucking mouth.
This is why they think you guys hate each other. Rand said, "Zucker, shut your fucking mouth."
Rand!
Hey, mods, can we handle this toxic gamer in your name, Rand Althor19, please? Thanks.
Spam Althor19, I don't need you to calm down. Hey, D-Batch, buddy, what have you been playing, and where can people find you?
I've been playing a lot of nothing. I've been benchmarking for the last 3 days. I finally got an RDX 3080, so I've been putting it through its paces. Got some content coming to the channel. So yeah, I just been benchmarking. You guys can find me on Twitter at D_batch, and of course on YouTube at DBatch.
We've also got the Grounded Gamer, aka the guy that plays Cyberpunk somehow. Where can people find you, and what have you been playing?
I haven't been playing much of anything. I've been working 2 jobs, but I've played a little bit of New Vegas here and there, and I jumped back into Doom Eternal because I figured out like I was testing the HDR functionality in the Xbox One X, and I was going into the settings and like going through that setup process with the HDR settings. And it made a big difference. I've never done that within the settings menu in the Xbox One X, and it actually does make a difference. So if you haven't done that and you got a good TV, do go through those settings, set it up, and blow your mind. These games look fantastic, and I can't wait for next generation. But yeah, you can find me at The Grounded Gamer and at Jay Fonzarelli on Twitter. And and next week here on RDX. And guys, it's been, I think we started back in 2017, I believe, like maybe late June or early July or something. But damn, it's been forever, and it's been fun. And, the chat has been amazing, and to see the growth of everybody on this panel has just been amazing. And, man, I love all you guys. You guys rock, man. Thanks for being great friends to me here on the panel, and you guys in the chat as well. Amazing people. Thank you.
And shout out to Bad Boy Live as well. I haven't talked to him in a minute, man. Every time I typed his name into today because I went to send him a message, and he had sent me like 3 or 4 messages on Twitter, and I didn't get any notification. I don't even remember seeing a notification or his name at all in the DMs, and he had been talking. So, again, anybody who's messaged me anywhere, same for Colt, same for anyone here, if we don't get back to you or any of that stuff, it's not personal at all. It's just like, holy shit, I can't handle the messages. None of us can, and it's a lot. So I did message you on Twitter, Bad Boy, just in case you didn't see it. I'm not sure if you replied yet, but again, guys, thanks for what you do. Appreciate it. We still got 2,500 people just listening to the outro. So tell 2,500 people where they can find you and what you've been playing, Tim Duck.
I just finished Mafia Definitive Edition, which I really recommend. Really great game, great story. Still playing the Avengers. I'm up on the Iron Man part. Nice. You can find me on Twitter, xCloud TimDog, always here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the next few weeks should be fun. We're getting real close to launch, about a month away.
Yeah. Zonker, tell people where they can find you, buddy, what you've been playing.
You can find me on Twitter at Zalker87, YouTube Zalker87, or in your recommends. And I'm playing Dishonored 2, actually, because it's on Game Pass. And it's funny, that game was like I downloaded and played it because it was like leaving soon, and then the Bethesda thing happened, and it's like, never mind, bitch. Just there.
It's like, never mind, we're here.
Yeah, I know. It literally took it out of the never like that and just left it there. So I've been playing that on Xbox and PC. I'm kind of testing both of them. I want to see how it works, and it's pretty fucking smooth on both, man. It's pretty nice. So that's a fun game. I never played the second one, so I jumping into that. I beat Mafia Definitive Edition. That game was awesome. I recommend it to everybody. That game was a lot of fun. Obviously,
Did you skip the driving like Rand did?
No, I didn't. I actually didn't skip anything.
So you actually beat it?
Yeah, I played the whole thing. I didn't even know you could do that. I think Rand actually did tell me, he's like, you could skip the driving. And I was like, this is why.
Rand did. Dealers just throws people
Wait,
under
hold on.
buses.
Listen, this is why we know Rand got to 1 million gamer score. He skipped a lot of things and probably got carried. He's
the only thing he didn't skip was the trotting dance sequence from Barbie Simulator on horse.
Oh, he never skipped anything in Barbie.
I'm just glad he skipped that Konami video. Oddly specific.
Stupid fucking bitch.
Pachenko.
Anyways, so yeah, that's what I've been playing and having a lot of fun with it. And chat, you guys are fucking awesome. Every Tuesday, we all look forward to this, and we fucking love it. And we love that you guys support us this much. And yeah, man, this panel's awesome, and we're all good friends here. And launch is so fucking close.
And y'all, a lot of y'all saw my tweet on Twitter about the uppercut, uppercut that's coming in the next week or two. We're gonna have a special tweet that's gonna really set some people off because they hate seeing it. But again,
your uppercut was the dirt. Well, I thought the uppercut was the dirt account saying, "Hey, dealer's awesome."
No, that was before. That was
a left hook.
Yeah, that was. But you know, we got some more stuff that'll make the haters salty. So again, let us know what your thoughts are down below. Of course, hit subscribe, support everybody here. Thanks for doing what you do. Thanks for supporting the show, and thanks to everybody who left super chat and again all that stuff, all the support. It all helps. You guys are amazing. We are
Hold up.
out. What?
Dealer, Jim Ryan's coming to the show? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Jim Ryan will be here.
What?
All right. Well, we got to go, guys. It's a good show.
You're right.
Later.